Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we would like to presenting about idioms that we have found in English podcast. First of all, let me introduce my team. My name is Rasheeda Caesio Dhiya Ulhaq. And the next, okay,
My name is Keizaki, Febriano Manggali.
okay,
My name
okay,
is Fridhea Zuliyanti.
okay. And we would like to discuss about what is an idiom that used in the podcast, and the meanings of the idioms. What is an idiom? Idiom is a phrase or expression in which the meaning is different from the literal definition of the words. Which podcast we use? We use ways to spend more time alone and become your own best friend by a better you podcast. Why we choose this podcast? Because we think everyone should spend time alone and take a rest for a while from socializing. Also, we want to learn some idioms that mentioned on it. Okay. Then what is the video context? The primary context is encouraging viewers to embrace solitude and self-realizations, especially as the summer seasons often brings a busy social calendar and the risk of social burnout. Drawing from her own experiences traveling and living alone, the host highlights the immense personal benefits of spending quality time by yourself, which she frames as answering a solitude era or solo era. And next, we would like to discuss about idioms that I have mentioned. The first is reel back in. The purpose of this idiom is used to remind someone to control themselves. Then they are going too far emotionally, verbally, or in action. To stop or reduce an excessive display of emotion, behavior, or spending to regain control or focus on the original task or topic. It often suggests pulling something like a fishing line closer to control it. And the meaning of this idiom is to calm down and to compose oneself, or to bring a conversation back to its main points. And the next idiom is that yourself. The purpose is to promote self-love and self-care, reminding people to spend time alone, enjoy themselves, and build happiness independently. And then to reveal your age by using outdated language or references, or to prioritize self-care and personal growth by intentionally taking yourself on dates to enjoy your own company. To choosing to date yourself means setting aside time for ourselves to reflect, experiment, and recharge our energy. The next we have your own back. Purpose is to support, defend, or protect yourself. It means to be your own advocate, ensure your own well-being, and not rely solely on others for support or defense, and encourage people to protect themselves, be confident, and rely on their own strength instead of depending on others. The next, we have a blessing in disguise. The purpose is shows that something that seems bad at first can actually lead to a good or unexpected positive outcome. A lie has good results. An apparent misfortune that eventually has good result. Often moments of solitude feel boring. However, those moments can turn into a blessing in disguise. Silence gives us access to our thoughts and emotions. What appears to be emptiness can turn into clarity, authenticity, and creative possibilities. Next, we have stepping stones. It means that uneven experience or object that helps you progress towards a bigger goal or achieve success. The purpose, she used it to illustrate that the solitary process of working through emotion and gaining clarity is not a single leap but a series of necessary foundational achievements that lead to personal maturity and important life skills like self-soothing. Then we have creative juices flowing. The purpose is she used it to explain a direct professional benefit of solitude. She discusses how spending time alone allows her to relax, recharge, and generate new ideas for her work as a creative person. It means that a state where one's imagination, inspiration, and ability to generate new ideas are active and productive. It refers to stimulating the mind to be creative. And the next idiom will read by my partners, okay, or Dhiya.
Mm.
Time is yours.
Okay, so next we have idioms called nail down. It means to make something definite, certain, or final by getting a firm agreement or exact details. The purpose is to advise listeners to spend time alone during the summer to figure out but they genuinely enjoy doing dependent of others.
Okay, next.
Okay, so the next we have first and foremost means the most important or primary thing, the thing that should be considered or done before anything else. It emphasizes priority. The purpose is use it to emphasize the absolute priority of the relationship with oneself. It signifies that self-love and self-values must be the foundation of your life, making her dependent on stronger validation and better equipped to set the boundaries.
Okay,
Okay, next is the social bubble. It means a small, exclusive group that socially isolates from others. Or it can refer to a typical grouping of people, like during the pandemic, to limit the disease spread. Purpose used as a metaphor to describe a state of being openly engrossed in socializing that leads to distraction and burnout. It contrasts her highly productive periods alone with times when excessive socializing distracts her from her goals and work dreams.
okay, next.
Next is on your toes. It means to be alert, ready, and prepare for anything, especially because something might happen suddenly. Purpose be addressing listeners whose jobs require constant attention or high level focus on self management. The idiom is used to stress the mental reliance and commitment required for demanding careers or for achieving personal goals. It implies that a lack of alone time makes it impossible to maintain this level of required focus and diligence.
Next. Read it by Fridhea. Okay.
Okay. Next, I will read the tone down idiom. It means to make something less strong, less loud, or less intense, so it sounds or looks more polite, calm, or simple. The purpose is to adjust your level of emotion, in this case, excitement, to match the lower emotional level of the group, thereby avoiding making other feels awkward or uncomfortable by comparison.
Right. Next.
And then I will read the taint your image. It means something damage or harm. The way people see you, it hurts your reputation. The purpose is to explain that companion's negative emotional state or reaction can contaminate or corrupt your own perception and enjoyment of an otherwise positive experience. The joy you felt about the food is ruined, tainted by the other person's complaint.
Okay. Next.
Next, jam out. It means to play music informally and enthusiastically, often with improvisation, or to dance energetically to music. Purpose is to convey that she sings and dances enthusiastically to the loud, fast-paced music while working out using the music's energy to motivate her solo exercise.
Okay. The last.
And the last one is winding down mood. It means to relax after being busy or stressed or to slowly finish something. Purpose to is to mentally and physically prepare the body of high quality sleep by engaging in peaceful, low intensity self-care activities.
Okay. And for the last of our discussion or for our presentation is the conclusion. The conclusion of the video is that cultivating a strong relationship with yourself is the most vital foundation for a fulfilling life. Overriding the need for external validation or constant social engagement, the host emphasized that since you ultimately only have yourself, viewers must prioritize self-reliance and self-compassion, treating themselves with the same kindness and positive self-talk they would over a best friend. By dedicating time to solitude, one gains essential mental clarity and strengthen intuition, which by dedicating time to solitude, one gains essential mental clarity and strengthen intuition, which is necessary for setting personal goals and values. The final and most pressing takeaway is a call to action to stop waiting for others, cut off toxic relationships, and actively pursue life experiences alone, affirming that self-reliance is the sole path to an unfulfilled and lonely life. So, guys, we also highlight the 3 points in the video. The first one is the psychological necessity, harnessing intrapersonal intelligence. This segment delves into the profound psychological mechanism triggered by consistent solitude, arguing that time alone is not merely a break, but a necessary developmental phase. By consciously removing the relentless stimulation and validation demands of constant social interaction, the mind is forced into a state of deep reckoning. This process generates what the host terms painful clarity, an inescapable confrontation with suppressed emotions, unresolved conflicts, and limiting thoughts patterns that we typically mask it with noise or company. Successfully navigating this internal landscape is paramount to developing interpersonal intelligence, the mastery of understanding one's own motivations, capabilities, and true emotional states. This focused time allows one to practice genuine emotional regulation, learning the vital skill of self-soothing and processing difficult feelings like ang anger anger or frustration internally. By identifying the root cause of a trigger or an emotional spike without immediate external distraction, an individual gains the self-knowledge required to achieve true emotional maturity and resilience. And the second point will be read by Keizaki. Okay.
Okay, the second point we have the follow date manifesto from passive alone time to active self-investment. To maximize the benefit of solitude, it must be reframed from passive isolation to a series of intentional high value solo dates. This approach challenges the deeply ingrained social fear of being perceived as lonely and is the first step to building self-confidence. The centerpiece of this manifesto is encouraging listeners to undertake the fancy date test, going out to a movie, a museum, or even a nice restaurant alone. Not just enjoying it, but truly enjoying it. This acts as an internal compensation, clarifying the realization that one's enjoyment is self-generated. Furthermore, this intentionally is applied to routine encouraging the romanticizing of mundane tasks, turning cleaning into a dance party or cooking a meal into a mindful self-care ritual. This mindful solitude also serves as a potent creative catalyst, structuring the necessary quit time for the brain to transition into the valuable flow, that are allowing the creative juice to flow freely without influence, directly supporting professional productivity and intellectual growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
The third
The
point.
third or last point is the self-diminishing fear and building self-sovereignty. The ultimate outcome of embracing solitude is the tangible shift from reliance on others to complete self-sovereignty. This transition is proven through the systematic dismantling of dependence, moving from the need to rely on others for logistics like travel, scheduling, or personal safety to assuming full capable command of one's own life. Every successfully completed solo task, whether it's a long drive alone, navigating a new city, or simply managing household affairs, systematically reduce specific fears and build genuine, deep-seated self-trust. The confidence gained from this capability allows one to know inherently that first and foremost they are their own source of support. This internal certainly translates into unwavering boundary setting in external relationships. When you know your happiness is self-generate, you gain the emotional freedom and strength required to confidently disengage from toxic friendship or draining partnership without the fear of being left alone. Ensuring your peace remain prioritized above all this.
Okay. In
Since the
the
video
video
explains
explain.
how to appreciate yourself so that it's easier for us to live a better life than before.
Okay, so that's all for our presentation. I do apologize if there are any several mistakes in our presentation, and thank you so much for your attention. And see you guys